What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the final Wizards outlook of the regular season. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. here, Raymond Lyons. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. And the recap of the game, we gonna get through this real quick because there's not too much to talk about. There's not some great breakdown to be had. Uh, every team in the NBA is playing today. All the teams with postseason aspirations, their players are doing the same thing we're doing today, which is watching, potting, doing everything but being on that court. But we saw Peyton Pritchard go off for 38 as the Celtics beat the Wizards 132 to 122 in the season finale. Ray, we'll start with you and then Cardell. Just your thoughts on the 82nd game of this season.
Yeah, man, you started where it needs to start and end. Peyton Pritchard. She sniffed the triple double, I believe, 38, 12, and 9. The Wizards just couldn't contain him. And that's pretty much all she wrote, man. 2 turnovers, 15 for 21 from the floor, 4 for 6 from three, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. It's just a masterclass. And and I mean this is not a surprise given the situation. He's talented. We saw how what he did in college and how he's continued to be be productive in the league, given the situation. But he just got a chance to rock out today. I mean, and the Wizards they're playing their young guys. Boston was playing their young guys, and Pritchard had a day, man. that's pretty much what it boils down to. But the Celtics as a team, man, super efficient. 57% from the floor, 50% from three. Struggled a little bit from the free throw line, but that's a moot point at this stage. Handled the Wizards on the glass 48-36. Pretty much everything the Wizards have struggled with throughout the season. It showed up tonight and this afternoon rather. And that's how the Celtics were able to get the win.
Cardell?
Yeah, like you said, Peyton Pritchard pretty much jumped on them, destroyed them, got them up out of there. In the first half, the game was pretty much over to me. The Wizards came out, it looked like with the energy of can't wait for the season to be over. Ready, 1, 2, 3. What is it? What they say? 3 more Cancun or whatever on TNT. It was kind of that vibe, and they were getting rocked a little bit. And, Peyton Pritchard going on, and they started competing. They needed more out of their backcourt. I think, Jared Butler, what I've been saying in the last few broadcasts, the young guys that's trying to secure a job, stay in the league, his best shot, stay hungry, and continue to compete and do your thing. Jared Butler, Rui, they've been listening. Butler played 31 minutes, on Rui played 23. Rui had 26 and 5, 26 points, 5 assists on 11 of 17. Butler had 22 points, 7 assists on 9 of 19, man. Patrick Baldwin was also solid, 17 points and 7 rebounds, 6 of 11. They did what they should do. If there's a game to be played, you got to continue to prove yourselves to stick in the league because there's a young crowd that's going to come and try to take your job, and your job is not secure. The problem is the guys whose jobs are secure didn't show up for the Wizards in the last game. Like I said, vacation mode. Corey Kispert, Danny Avdia, Johnny Davis, especially Johnny Davis. He's kind of in the same boat. You know what I mean? But really, Kispert and Avdia, man, y'all can't go combine 6 of 20, man, and from your 2 or 3 from your wing spots. Avdia 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 31 minutes. Come on, man. You know what I mean? And Kispert, 8 points and 8 assists, man. He passed the ball well, but you know what he's getting paid to do. He's paid to hit shots, and you know what I mean. And that's just, and it's not like you playing against their starters, Tatum and all those guys, man. They sat on the guys getting ready for the playoff run, to get rest and whatnot. You playing against guys fighting the stick in the league and their reserves as well, and their reserves at certain spots dominated y'all, and y'all are starters, Kispert and Danny Avdia. So. To me, that was a little disheartening. It's the last game of the season. What you got to lose, man? And what I've been saying is, on top of developing the young guys, play to develop good habits. Winning habits to take into the off season. Now you go on there with a sour taste in your mouth. You got the worst record in franchise history, and you going in there off of L. It's just a reflection of what we've seen all year. and it's fitting that it came to a close today. The Wizards have a lot of work to do to try to build this roster out and really try to get it to a position where they're competing for, my optimistically looking at it, some playing spot, one of them moving in the next season and whatnot. But, look, man, it's just, I wish they would have competed better as a whole, but, shout out to the guys that did, Jared Butler, Omaru, and Patrick Baldwin, those guys, because that's what it's about. And Gil. Gil always is the consummate professional. I can't exclude him. Every game he gives his all. So you just wish you had got better effort out of that. But, all in all, man, you look at the depth of the team and all that, and Wizards being on the road last game of the season, the Celtics did what they should have did. And that's put out regardless if their stars are sitting or not.
Like you guys said, the team primed for the playoffs, and the other team primed for the offseason. Went as expected. And again, big night from Peyton Pritchard, which makes this question null and void. So we'll just go to X Factor.
How about the Wizards' lack of defense in the first half on Peyton Pritchard? Can we just do that? I don't think people understand how much he was cooking. I don't think people understand how much he was cooking, man. My man had, in the first half, 22 points and 6 assists on 8 of 13 shooting from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, no turnovers. I repeat, Peyton Pritchard had 22 points, 6 assists, 8 of 13 from the field, 4 of 5 from deep, no turnovers. His counterpart at point guard, Denny, 4 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna leave V for Ray to talk on, but I mean, what more we got to talk about, man? That he dominated and controlled the game. They had no answer for him. All the other Celtics had to do was just not make mistakes, just feed off of him, and the rest was smooth because where was the resistance? And that's what I mean by certain guys were just ready for vacation.
Right.
Yeah, no, man. It's I wholeheartedly agree, man. And it was kind of disappointing to see him go out like that. We know it's been a rough year, but at the very least, go down swinging, man. Don't just come out here and lay down. But yeah, kudos to Pritchard for peeping that from jump and and jumping all over it. I mean, again, it's not a surprise given what we know about him, but yeah, I definitely expected more from them from a competitive standpoint.
That man did everything. Like you guys said, he barely missed out on a triple-double. Still emphatic ending the season for him as they move forward. We told you guys, I think the other day when we were wrapping up Wizards Outlook, that we'll try to take a look at some of the offseason for this team. And we're going to go ahead and jump straight into that. We're going to start with player grades. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the screen. And we're going to make it real simple, like it's in alphabetical order. So I'm just going to name the players and feel free to jump in wherever y'all see fit. With grade-wise, we're going to start with just talking about him a little bit earlier. One of the two starters that did play in this game here got Denny Avdia.
Man, I'm gonna give him a C. He got the contract extension. He did play more consistent this season than last year. We've said it for years, man. When he's not in his own head, when I mean is putting his head down after every mistake, he just stays with it. Man, he's a hell of a player. He can guard multiple positions. He can be an efficient shooter. He can play, make, rebound. He can do a lot of things, at a reasonably high level when he don't power. But again, he still needs to reach another level of consistency for the Wizards to really take another leap and get back in that playoff mix, man. You know what I mean? And there's no reason to not think he can't get there because he's progressively got better every year. But they really need him to turn the corner this upcoming season.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, man. I will give him a C as well. From a total perspective, he kind of had a middle of the road performance during the season. A lot of peaks and a lot of valleys. And that's magnified given what this team needs from him to be successful. If he's surrounded by more talent and has the production he has, then that's a different contribution, in a different situation. But yeah, man, like Cardell said, the potential is there. He just gotta fully get out his own way and just play basketball, man.
All right, on to the next. We got Marvin Bagley III. Got that name all wrong. Said Marvin Bagley III.
Short sample size, but he had an impact. Got to figure out a way to stay healthy. That's been the big thing for him in his career. Just staying healthy, being able to stay on the floor to put it all together, man. It's hard when you in and out to be in game shape, be in game rhythm and stuff, and you always in and out, man. But what we saw was promising. With the way he can rebound, run the floor, block shots, score or whatnot. Probably give him a C+, B- in that range, man, for the short sample size he was with the Wizards. Not the whole season, folks. I'm talking about when he's been with the Wizards. You know what I mean? Because he did come in like game busters, and let's be real, he indirectly made Gafford expendable, because they wanted to get, the money they was paying Gafford, they wanted to kind of move that, you know what I mean, so to speak, so they can try to get some more pieces. But it would have been hard to move Gafford if he came in and averaged like 2 and 4. He just being bad. You know what I'm saying? His production made it, made them more comfortable to make that move on top of the contract stuff. So, yeah, man. Look, he was a top 2 pick for a reason. He still has some ways to grow to really, like I said, maximize his talents or whatnot. But for just coming in a new situation, a new bad situation, record-wise, whatnot, team and transition or whatnot, he could have every excuse in the world to not ball, just say, man, I'm in a bad situation, I can't get off, can't do this, make excuses. But he didn't. He came in, man, and he averaged 13 and 8. Is pretty solid coming into a new situation, playing 24 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, I give him a B. Just for the same things Cardell pointed out, man. The only thing that keeps him from getting a higher grade is his his health. You got to be available. But yeah, he came and made immediate impact, and was consistent with it for the time that he was available to play. If he just got to find a way to stay on the floor.
All right, up next, Patrick Baldwin Jr.
Yeah, he was up and down, man. He had a couple of strong last 2 games. He's been pretty decent. He needs a lot of work, man. That he might be in that D range, bro. He gotta elevate. He gotta elevate. No disrespect, but man, his first round pick. It's only been a couple years, but look, he got to start to find his game. You know how quickly the league moves on. And, we got to look at it logically. If you can't find a way to impact a bad team, how are you going to impact a winning team? It's just as simple as that. So you got a lot of room to grow. You've seen flashes like the last 2 games where he's hitting his shots, playing good defense, using his size and length, man. But yeah, he got a lot of work to do. It's a big summer coming up for him, regardless. Restricted free agent, what they say is 2026. So yeah, you got to get in the lab, man. Get stronger, prove his ball handling, do a lot of things so he can find a niche in the league and be able to stick. And if he's going to be with the Wizards, find a way to be able to help them out.
Right.
Yeah, man. He's basically his last week of the season was really his only saving grace. He's definitely been had a tough year, man. Just like a lot of people on this roster, but But if he continues to trend up like he has been the last few games, then it'll be a positive outlook for him.
All right, up next we got Jules Bernard.
There's an incomplete count.
that is a grade. That is a grade. It can be used. That is a grade.
He hasn't had enough
submitted enough work, man, to get
he
evaluated.
ain't been on the court to really judge what he can do, man. So, and he undrafted one. So he ain't not enough reps to really gauge what it is.
So it was almost like that two-way thing that he's defined by is a great thing. We'll see how it goes. Like you guys said, you guys are in agreement. Incomplete is in fact a grade. We'll move on to Jared Butler, who we saw, where he went from what his status was beginning the season from the 3-year deal that he earned. So we'll start there.
I gotta give him go ahead, Ray.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was thinking, that B+, maybe he might even messed up the curve, man. It's not too much, criticism I can give him, to be perfectly honest, man. He especially with Tyus Jones going down, he filled that role, nicely. From a defensive standpoint, he provided what they needed. Like you said, Wilson, he based on what he was doing, they went ahead and locked him up. So yeah, man, I go B+, A-.
Go ahead, Cardo.
Yeah, I said B. Same thing.
Okay.
He came up strong. He earned that contract, man. Both hands started to bring the defense that we got accustomed to seeing him play at Baylor. He brought his confidence. A lot of his confidence in his league, man. They got the game, but if you're not confident, it's hard to show it. He brought confidence. He had some big shots down the stretch in games and get some heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember the game they beat the Bucks. He was all in the mix with that win, man. You know what I'm saying? And think about who you're dealing with. You're battling Patrick Beverly, the ultimate annoyance at point guard as far as the goon. I mean that respectfully. Like I love Pat Bev. So if you could pretty much withstand the game with Pat Bev and stuff, you good in the league. Especially these days. Ain't too many much more. You just got to hoop for the rest of them. But Pat Bev, you got to hoop and you got to have it up here and here. You got to have the heart and the mental because he's going to try you. Especially a young player trying to find his footing in the league, and that's what Jerry Butler was trying to do. He just proved he was tough, man. That's definitely a guy that's starting to figure out his niche in the league, and it was beautiful to see him just be consistent in that niche. So yeah, he's definitely obviously I'm not in the front office, but he's definitely somebody I would like to see stay with the Wizards and have a meaningful role moving forward.
All right, another two-way guy. We got Justin Champagnie.
Same thing, incomplete, just not enough body work. He just got here, matter of fact. So he's shown flashes, some threes, but it's tough to come in that late. I mean, I'm trying to look at how many games. He only had 14 games, started one. You know what I mean? It's just tough. That's basically, in a sense, about 2.5, 3 weeks of games, depending on how many. You know what I'm saying? It's just tough. You know what I mean? But he's shown flashes. I know he could play. Watched him all throughout college. Actually, he's a gym couch kid, so I know he could ball or whatever. But again, it's finding that niche, and I keep saying that because you got to be able to play off the other team, the other stars on the team, the go-to guys. You know what I'm saying, and still do your thing. And it's hard. Sometimes it's just not a good fit. Like he's 6'6", but I think he's more of a 3, undersized 3. So can he deal with the threes? You know what I mean? Like, can you guard the Paul Georges, the Kawhis, and all that? That's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get your 5 shots a game, can you hit 3 or 4 of them? You gotta be able to hit and it's gonna probably be corner threes. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's tough. And then when it just so happen them rare games when it's going your way, can you sustain it? Where the team get behind you and you win, because it always has those type of games. There's always going to be a few of those games for any role player. So those are the questions he still has to answer. But it wasn't enough time for him to answer them this season with the Wizards.
Ray, you also going with incomplete?
Yeah, it's just not enough. Not enough to give a fair evaluation. But yeah, I think I think he'll be okay moving forward, man. He's a hard worker, and and he's got some positive things to add to the game. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, on to someone with a little bit more more of a sample size. We got Bilal Coulibaly.
Yeah, you gotta give him an A. I mean, he got hurt, but I'm giving him an A. I like this. I like this kid a lot. They hit. Look, we know the real with the Wizards. Unless they pull a rabbit out the hat, big time free agents are not gonna come here unless they seriously overpay like $400 million. And, something like that, man. But Bilal Coulibaly has potential. He has the potential to be one of those guys, man. Defensively, not only can guard 1 through 3, and as he gets stronger fours, man, he's willing. He wants it. You know what I mean? He hunts those dudes. We ain't seen one of them in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially to be that young, and he improved. Remember, early in the season, couldn't really hit threes. Had to get accustomed. Then he started hitting the corner three. Started getting better, breaking people down off the bounce, man. Got to improve his playmaking a little bit. You know what I mean? So once he do that and be able to find other guys here to open up his ability to score, we all know he's stupid athletic. That's why he got hurt, trying to jump over people and stuff like that, man. But, stay off the floor, young fella. The floor takes years off your career. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe me, go back and look at D. Wade. Them flash years were short, but they were beautiful to watch, but they were short. He kept hitting the floor. But, man, hey, they hit with that one, and they got to keep hitting on these draft picks. You know what I'm saying? That's key. That's how you come up out of the lottery, worst team in franchise history. That's how you come up out of that, man. So for him, it's just about getting healthy and improving over the summer and coming back in. Because I think now that he got a year under his belt, he ready to go.
Right.
Yeah, class valedictorian, man. I love what he brought this season. And the first thing we always have been looking at with this team was defense. And he got an argument for being the best defender on the team this year, to be perfectly honest, man. He got after it, and he had some welcome to the NBA nights, but he never backed down and was still effective on that end. Some guys you're not going to stop all the way, but I mean, he did his part to make their life difficult. And then, Cardell pointed out the growth offensively throughout the season, with him being able to knock down shots, putting the ball on the floor, getting to the basket. So yeah, man, can't take nothing away from the year he had.
Yeah, the only thing I want to add in, because I think you guys covered it for sure. I think if that's the what's it called? It seems like he embodies what this new regime wants. From a mentality standpoint, which I think is key. As we get in, we'll talk a little bit later about what they need to be looking at or what they need, team need wise or whatever and all that. But I feel like that's the biggest thing in it, regardless of sport, with when you're starting over, is like Cardell said, obviously a fit, but if you got to reset, you got to hope that you're resetting around the person that embodies that mentality of what you want everything to be founded on. So I think they got that part right for sure. On to Johnny Davis, who was selected by the previous regime.
Ray, you go there, Ray. See. Yeah.
His grade right next to his name.
Yeah, D. Yeah, you got. Yeah, man. He got to make a major leap this summer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad, man, because it's clear with this regime on. Like, we gonna turn this around, hell of hard water. Like it's like what Kobe said: the train gotta keep moving, bro. You either gonna be on it, gonna get left behind, or get ran over, but the train gotta keep moving. It's just as simple as that, man. It's no way you could say he balled, man. Like he played well. He had spurts, he had some games, but overall he wasn't consistent enough. Even his efficiency, 39% from the field. He got better shooting the three, but he really didn't take a lot of threes, 35%. Free throw line, 58%. It's just average 3 points a game this season, you know what I mean? 1.4 rebounds. He needs a lot of work. He gotta take a leap. There's no other way around it. You gotta take a leap.
All right, on to one of the consummate pros on the roster. We got Anthony Gill.
Super pro, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I give him a B. Like, he didn't play a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on how the game was going, didn't really play a lot. Some games he didn't get in, stay ready. The stats not gonna show it, but when he got his opportunities, he found a way to make an impact. And he was playing he was an undersized four. You know what I mean? Didn't complain, just pro's pro. You know what I mean? And a lot of people get all caught up in the stats and stuff like that, but you need a couple of those guys on the team. Show the young players how to be. Like, don't think he wasn't a good veteran presence for Bilal Coulibaly. You know what I'm saying? Some of these other guys, Butler, these young guys to watch because he's a bit older. I know he has 3 years experience, man, but he's been a pro for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He was overseas. You're thinking EuroLeague and putting in work. So that's the second best league in the world, even better than the G League. So consummate professional, man. It's hard to really find any faults because one, his role is to just come in and do the little things in the dirty work. It's not necessarily to, get 30 and stuff. If it happens, great. But his role is to keep the other guys sharp and stuff like that, keep them ready. And when his number's called, be ready to contribute. And that's what he did. So, you got to give him a high grade.
Right.
Yeah, I got him in that B plus A minus range. He did his job, man, and was productive based on the opportunities he got. You can't ask anything more than that. Should he stick around? And depending on what happens, roster wise, wouldn't be surprised to see him get more opportunities. Because he brings a lot of what this team needs, especially from a defensive rebounding standpoint. So yeah, man. Yeah, he had a good year.
All right. On to Rashawn Holmes, another one of the guys that was imported over, mid-season or late into the season.
It's when he played, he balled. He had that major impact, but it's just in small sample size. I'm about to give him an incomplete. I need to see him, with the other horses, healthy. He did start to develop. I don't even know if he played with Tyus. Did he play with Tyus at any point, or he came with Tyus went out?
I think he came when Tyus was out.
Yeah, so
I think they passed each other in terms of availability.
See what I'm saying? So I know Tyus loved lob threats because you saw what happened when Bagley came. And even when Gaff was here, man, it was Lob City. So you gotta see more. Obviously, it depends on the makeup of the team. It depends on if he even want to be here, if they want to keep him. But we gotta see more. So I'm gonna just kind of go with incomplete. But the games he got in, he did make an impact.
All right, Ray, you also going with incomplete?
Yeah. Like Cardell said, man, just didn't see enough. What we did see was good, but it just wasn't enough to to fully grade him.
All right, Cardell, you brought up Tyus Jones. Great segue. That's who's next.
Man, I gotta give that brother an A. That boy, I don't think people understand how good he was, man. Like, look, 66 games, unfortunately, injuries. 29 minutes a game, 12 points. 29 minutes a game, 12 points, 7.3 assists, 1.1 steals, 1 turnover. In this league, did today. If you average like 3 or 4 turnovers, they're like, that's great. He's doing a good job controlling. No, 1 turnover. You know what I'm saying? Assist to turnover ratio, 7.3, dog. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Efficiency, scoring the ball, man. Let me go there. 48% from the field, 41% from 3, 80% from the free throw line. Need I say more? Now, he a bit small. Sometimes, bigger guards, more explosive guards kind of, bothering him a little bit. But he was, consummate pro, man. Came to work, ain't complain. The only thing I hope he stays, but I know one of these contenders going to be trying to get him. They're going to try to rough him because have him as your backup. Man, like that changes everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the Wizards been getting calls. I know they gotta be getting calls from one of these contenders because he could change things. You see what I'm saying? So I was excited when they got him, man. But hey, for sure, man. Because think about what would have happened if they didn't have him.
That franchise where his loss might have some numbers on it. And I'm not being funny. Just there were several games he just managed the hell out of. But right.
Yeah, I agree, man. The only criticism I could even think of, and it's not even completely his fault, is just sometimes late in games where dudes are just having brain farts. And it don't seem like it's in his personality, but at some point you gotta yoke somebody up and be like, give me the ball, man, so we don't keep doing stupid stuff. But yeah, like I said, that's not completely on him, but he was damn near perfect. Like Ardell pointed out, man, the way he's able to manage the game, and that right there was something that was sorely needed, because it'll be times they start off on a good note, he goes to the bench, it goes to hell, and he comes back in and settle things down again. Without that presence, yeah, as bad as this year was, we talking single digit wins.
Hey man, tough crowd out here grade wise. Not too many A's, but the people who did get them definitely deserve their grades. So it was the old school grading scale. Clearly on the Corey Kispert.
Yeah, he might have to get that A- B+ love, man. Elevate his game. I remember when he got drafted, people was like, man, what the hell? Why'd you draft him? Yeah, it was a lot of that. It was a lot of that, man. Same with Rui. The Gonzaga boys, they turned out to be pretty good pros, man. But yeah, he's elevated his game each and every year, and that's all you can ask for from a pro. And it shouldn't be a surprise, honestly. 4-year player at Gonzaga, you come in older, you understand how to work, you understand what's required and stuff. So that's why he was drafted. One of those guys that the last regime did get right. Few and far in between, but they got him right. He came in as a shooter. He's developed. He can put the ball on the floor now, mid range. He can finish at the basket. If you ain't careful, he'll dunk on your ass, man. He caught a couple people, especially in transition. He's very sneaky. You gotta get back. He's sneaky as hell, man. He run to the three. He's sneaky with it, man. This the defender. I mean, he runs to the corner looking for the three. So you kind of jogging back because you can see him in your peripheral. He looking for the three, and then they throw that outlet, and all of a sudden he drop. Oh, and then you try to go back and block. It's too late. Now you getting dunked on. You like, I can't believe I got dunked on by Corey Kispert. What the so you're gonna hear about in the locker room. No disrespect, Kispert, you know what I'm saying? But nah, man, 13.4 points, nearly 3 rebounds, 2 assists. But he's a shooter. And the fact he played 79 games. I love that durability. But he's a shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what his NBA skill, that's what got him drafted. So he always has to bring that to the table. 48% from the field, 38% from deep, man. And 72% from the free throw line, but he only takes 2 a game. So if he got more of a volume, that'll probably be higher, man, where he can get more comfortable. But he did his job. He sprayed the floor. He improved his game. Defensively, he got better too. But the last few years, he was food. Now, let me pass it back out. Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like, let's pick on him. So proving an all-around phase, man. So much respect to him.
Right.
Yeah, man, you got to throw a superlative on him. Most improved student, for sure. Cardell pretty much laid it out, but I think we talked about him defensively in the last show. Like you said, man, the first couple years, he was one of them dudes. All right, man, late in the game, we just going to go at him every possession. It's not like that no more, and he's not locked down by any stretch, but comparing from where he started from to now, it's a world of difference. And that means something, man. And offensively, he's rounding out his game too. Was originally just pretty much a catch and shoot guy. He's doing other things now. He's gotten a little more athletic. He's gotten stronger to be able to finish at the basket. So yeah, man, much respect to Kispert.
Yeah, no argument there with you guys with the grade. Again, it's what you want when you take somebody in the lottery, right? You want him to improve. He's improved. Every freaking year, regardless of what's going on, he's improved. Even over the past couple of weeks, we've seen them missing, some firepower in the lineup or whatever. He's kind of stepped up and filled the gaps and whatnot. And like you guys both said, it's a beautiful thing. You come in as a shooter, you round out your game. That only helps your team. Truly only helps your team. And to shoot 38%, knowing that the light that you have being designated as a shooter, that's 38% on that type of volume is good. And if you could prove on that, it's even better. But like you guys mentioned, the finishing part I think I've been most impressed with is one thing to get run off the line. It's another thing to get run off the line and not panic. Like and we saw that kind of maturation from him over the time too. So shout out to him for this year. Like you said, Ray, most improved might not be that bad. I wanted Kyle Kuzma.
I'm gonna give him a B, man. One, I like the fact that he turned down the trade to the Mavericks. I believe because he's like, no, I'm gonna turn this thing around. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like that showed where his mentality is because he could have easily ran. We thought that was gonna come. Like, yeah, man, it's horrible, but he didn't do that. So it shows he has a level of belief, not just in himself, but the regime and toughness. Look, man. It sucks being part of one of the worst teams, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he, a very good season. He has some room to grow too, and that's scary, because he's ultra talented, man. 6'9", 6'10", 3-level scorer, handle, can pass, rebound. He can defend. I would like to see him take it up a notch a little bit on that end. You know what I'm saying? But when he really locks in, he does a solid job. 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. 46% from the field, definitely good. 33%, but that's because he hunted some threes throughout the season, as we know, hero threes, and that's gonna bring your percentage down. If he took more threes within the flow, I think his percentage would jump, and like dramatically. He could be up in that 38, 39, 40% range, man. 77% from the free throw percentage. All right, man. Pretty good. 70 games played. Pretty good, man. And I think a lot of those games he probably could have played more, but I think they were just looking at the young guys. You know what I'm saying? Season was over. Let's see what the young guys got to offer, see who we're going to keep. So, I mean, all in all, I get to be, I just respect the fact he really took on the challenge of being a leader and trying to show that, I can lead a franchise. You know what I mean? Because there were some games where it was like, damn, dude, like you balling, dog. And monster triple doubles, doing everything, bro. And you had to respect it, man. So, yeah, definitely can give him the B. Only reason I'm not giving him the A because, like I said, their record, and he has room to grow. You know what I'm saying? So, which is again, scary considering where he's at. We all know moving forward, the 3 and the 4 between Denny and Kuz, that's the strength of this team. So they just gotta start building around that.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's just a couple things he needs to shore up to get in that A group. But yeah, man, even, last year he was in a similar position. He was the guy. And, they had a down year, but him personally, I think he did a better job of functioning that role this year. Man, we seen him go toe to toe with, a couple games with the Giannis's of the world and guys of that caliber. And so, I mean, you got to tip your hat off when, when somebody's able to elevate like that. Yeah, at some points, he had some erratic decision making, some poor shot selection, but in those moments, just the fact that he's being aggressive and trying to win the game and make a positive play, that's a step. Now we got to go back, reevaluate, and see what we can do better, how we can think things through a little better the next time. So yeah, man, I give him a B as well. I like where he's headed, man. I do. And I know people got to get their jokes off and whatnot. And yeah, they had a terrible season, but it, like you always have been saying, Wilson, it's ground zero of a rebuild, man. And you're gonna have to go through some things. But like Cardell pointed out, just his mentality and saying, no, I want to give this thing a shot and see this through. That's a good building block right there. You got somebody that want to be here and don't have their foot halfway out the door. So So yeah, man, I'm excited to see what he becomes and how he grows along with the changes that are happening with the franchise.
All right, and another thing to keep in mind, I think Carter brought this up a couple outlooks ago, is the relative age of their horses. Some of the dudes we mentioned, talked about Cools, Danny, Kispert obviously allows a baby, but none of those dudes are 30. So just keep that in mind as they go forward. To another guy who made the most of his opportunities, we got Eugene Omorui. I think I got it. His name always messes with me, and I ain't want to pull a cop out and just say Gino. So I'm not going to try to say it again, but I said it once. Y'all go ahead.
My man is the epitome of, stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, though. That man, I don't care. 2 minutes a game, I don't care if it's 20, man. He plays the same, and that's what I love about him. I got to give him a B. Obviously, he's back and forth between the Go-Go and the Wizards. But when he comes in, you feel him. He undersized forward, but he balls, man. For him, because he undersized, he got to get his 3-ball up. I think he's shooting 22% on the field. When he do that, it's going to open things up, because now they got to come out there, and he's explosive, and he has good enough handle to do some damage. You know what I mean? And also expand his awareness on the court. He has tunnel vision to go get a bucket. I get what he trying to do, man. I'm trying to stick, baby. My agents say they look at the points. They don't really look at the assists from the fours, man. But I get it, man. But he's somebody that as he rounds out his game and really solidifies. So I don't know if it's gonna be the Wizards. I hope so, because they need that energy. He like I said, 2 minutes or 20 minutes, he plays the same. They need a guy like that. And with the reps at the end of the season, I think he'll be better going into the summer next season if he stays. He's definitely somebody to keep around, especially with free agent, 1 more year, 24, 25. Why not? He had a lot more positives this season than the negatives, man. So yeah, why not keep him, man, and let him see if he can flourish. Why not?
Ray, your thoughts on Gino?
Yeah, man, I'm on the same page. I love what he brings. That the level of intensity never wavers. He gonna come in and do what he got to do for however long he on the court. And a lot of those early games, when the starters got off the slow starts and that young group comes in and walks down 20-point leads, he was at the forefront of that. So yeah, man, he played himself into a contract situation. Yeah, man, it's really not too much negative you can speak on about him this year.
All right, on to Mr. Jordan Poole.
Oh boy, I'm sure big people's waiting on this one. Man, look, for half the year, it was definitely an F. We gonna keep it real, bro. It was bad.
Absolutely,
it was bad. But the second half, it clicked. He got it. He started playing within himself, and it really clicked when Tyus went down, and he got a point guard role. And he understood, I gotta run this team. I gotta do a lot of different things. And when he settled down, played within himself, great basketball, all around basketball. He even showed he could pass. Like, you ain't realize he could pass because he was taking so many. His passes were bad shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then even his defense got better. And that goes to show you everything is tied. When you're not taking bad shots, your defense not compromised, it's hard for them to try to expose you. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to get back and have his teammates back there, and teams had to deal with a set defense more. He's look, that second half saved him, bro, because it was bad. Like, God, like, man, it's bad. I'm gonna give him a look. Still gotta give him a C minus, though, because that first half, man. But I also gotta give him props. The way he played in that first half, it destroyed a lot of players. Their confidence would have went down, and we've seen players in this league, they couldn't recover, and then they were out the league. You know what I'm saying? But he tough. I give him that. He's tough, man. So he elevated, and it's not like he don't have talent and skills. It's just like, leave all that silly, flashy stuff. Man, leave that at the park. Bring it out here and there to keep the defense on balance. But he was trying to make it a normal thing, and you saw what happened. You know what I'm saying? So, and look, the Porzingis play were always just that first half. That would symbolize the first half of the season. It just does. You know what I mean? But the shots he hit against the Bucks, and you know how he was going back and forth. You know, it was some games down the stretch where he was just hooping. You know, Minnesota, him and Anthony Edwards rumbling. You know what I'm saying? Like that shows, all right, you have the ability to play close or near that level. Just keep this more consistent, and the Wizards will be better off moving next year, man. You see what I'm saying? If he brings what he brought the second half of the season to next year, like to a more seasoned Danny and Kuz with another year on the belt, that's a nice little trio right there where you can count on for points and stuff. Then you just round that out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just fast because I don't know if Ty is going to be here, man. He's an unrestricted free agent, man. He might be trying to get back to a winner, so they're going to have to show that point guard spot. You know what I'm saying? And the center spot. Those are the two most glaring. But, you know, Poole, come on, man. Just stay within yourself, man, and work on his defense, get stronger. He averaged 17, 4, 2. There's no reason why that can't be above, why that can't be 20, like 26 and 5 next season.
Right.
Boy, if this was college, after that fall semester, he'd got that letter in the mail. Academic probation, buddy.
Transfer portal. Go ahead, get in the transfer portal, man.
But nah, man, I think Cardell hit on it perfectly. He rebounded great. You know, when they moved him to the 6-man role, I think that was able to give him some confidence as well, because he was just coming in and able to, you know, just kind of do his thing, man, and he started rounding into himself. But yeah, that first half of the season was brutal. And I'm glad he was able to tough through it, because yeah, had he continued down that path, man, I hope for the first half of the season he had all social media deactivated, because yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad, but again, he's obviously talented. You know, he's just got to find a way to put it together more consistently, because you know, post All-Star break, he had some flashes of what people were expecting him to be when he was brought here. And you know, hopefully he can just he can bring that out more often.
Yeah, like you guys said, we saw both the player Golden State was willing to pay the money for, and also the player that Golden State was willing to trade him for. So like, you know, we're gonna get into team needs in a little bit. So like, that's on Washington's regime. So why they get paid the big bucks on decisions they got to make for which way they want to attack this thing to fix this roster at both ends. Because like you guys both mentioned, that, you know, that middle of that lineup's kind of secure. It's the 1 in the 5 where you got to possibly address some things which way you want to go about it. But yeah, I give him so much credit, Cardell. You brought it up. His mental toughness to dug his way through the other side of it, man, because
it was bad.
He was there. Like if there was a bottom, he was in the bottom of the most bottomless place you can bottom. And the second half of the season was like, that's all people wanted, man. Like that's it. That's the stuff. There were 2 steal games, 3 steal games, like not being fooled for possessions at times. I was so impressed by the passing. I was like, so you could do that instead of take those shots, as you guys mentioned. Like, that's really a choice. But again, like most dudes on this roster, like that, like I think 2 things. One, consistency for almost everybody, and then discernment. For both him and Kuz, discernment in different regards. Like the choices their oars are devastating. In moments, like the moments where they have those oars. Should I do a shot like 2 more dribbles into a step back over 2 people, or swing it? Should I attack the basket, get downhill and get to the foul line, or take this contested 3? And both of them got to figure that part out. But we got 2 more folks left. We got Landry Shamet and Tristan Vukovic. So Cardell, start with you.
Landry tough, man. I love his stuff and I love his defense. He had some flashes offensively, but he wasn't healthy enough to really make a substantial impact. You know what I'm saying? Like he just wasn't. Man, it's somewhere between like a C- and complete, bro, because he just couldn't stay on the floor consistently enough. And he's another professional type guy like a Gill and all those guys you know, but he just couldn't stay on the floor enough, man. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with him. Still fairly young, but he got to find a way to get healthy, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been a rough couple of last years. Even before he came to Wizards, he was banged up. So you know he got to find a way to get healthy. But when he's healthy, he provides an impact on both ends.
All right.
Yeah, I was leaning towards incomplete. Yeah, just he's just hurt too much, man. And I definitely love what he brings when he's available. You know, because again, in the beginning of the season, when when things got off to a terrible start, he was one of the few guys that actually showed, some emotion or concern about, the way things were going on the floor, especially on the defensive end. We saw him get a little riled up a couple of times, talking to his teammates, and that's needed, man. So yeah, just that injury bug just was biting.
All right, and last but not least, this regime's second round pick, which, contrary to the previous regime, you are allowed to make second round picks that are in fact allowed to spend time in the NBA. But Carter, we'll start with you with Big Vooch.
Small sample. I like what I saw. Probably leaning more to incomplete because I got to see him when, what did he play? 10 games. Yeah, he played 10 games, started 4. I got to see him when everybody's not trying to wind down for the postseason, and when they really keying on him with the scouting report. I want to see him in that part of the season, man, to really gauge what he is. But what he's shown, oh yeah, it should be excitement, man, with the pass and the shooting. Toughness. I mean, he has a well-rounded game as most Europeans do, international players do. He just got to get stronger, man. Because he can't play center in this league no more. Be slender and get away with it, especially in the East, man. Not with Giannis and Embiid, he back, and hell, even Julius Randle, man. He'll go right through your chest. You know what I'm saying? Is Miles Turner, Jared Allen, Bam. Forgot about Bam. Look, man. He gets real out here in that paint, man. So, and I ain't even go out west when you got to deal with Jokic. He missed the Jokic game. That's the 300 and all that stuff like that, man. So, AD and them boys. Or you playing Minnesota, you got to deal with Gobert and Towns and Nasri. Hey, man, gotta get your weight up, dog. What that boy? What is that boy? That boy about what, 210? Not 225. Nah, bro. Gotta get that thing up about 245, 250, man. That's what he need to work on. He got everything skill-wise. He got some toughness with him. He got some stuff. You gotta get your strength up, man.
Right.
Yeah, man, I agree. Just didn't see enough. But it's some positives there for sure. But yeah, his body, he got to get his body right. That's the most important thing. Because he not gonna be able to rumble, being slight of frame like that, and that could potentially lead to him missing time because he's just taking a beating and getting hurt. So yeah, that strength and conditioning team for the Wizards, that should be their main focus with him.
Like you guys said, it's not like, go ahead.
Not to cut you over. What game was that where Gav got punished in the damn paint, bro? We was just like, my man was just, what game was that? My man was on, he just looked at the crowd, started shaking his head. He was like, we don't force you, Gav. We see you, bro. Just keep fighting. Like, it was bad. Like, that's what I'm saying. Gav, about 240. Yeah, about 240. So that's what I'm saying. They ain't key in on him yet to really see what he's built like. You know what I'm saying? But I like what I've seen, but that's why I say complete. But go ahead. But yeah, he got to get stronger for sure.
Oh, no, that's all I was going to add was I like everything that he brings to the table. But yeah, and he wants to go bang, but your body is not physically built at this moment to go bang. So it's like you see him want to go do it, then he gets, thrown out the club immediately. Like his mind is like, oh, ball went up, let me go box out. Oh no, I'm out of bounds. you got to go get stronger, man. So we all in agreement there, which brings us to this team needs as a whole. Follow like the team needs going to lead us to the last two segments, which is real simple. Team needs, Cardo, we'll start with you and then Ray. Just what is it they should prioritize or you feel they need immediately?
They don't need no more shooters. Like enough. Need more defender, a couple of defenders. And they need a starting point guard, especially if Tyus leave. Preferably a big, athletic one and a big, and they need a center. Like I like Books a bit, but it's gonna take him. There's no way you can just put on 25 to 30 pounds over the summer. He won't be healthy. He gonna be slow. It has to be a natural progression. 5 pounds here, 10 pounds. It has to be a natural progression. So you need somebody to come in that's physically ready to do that. That's why I threw out there. It depends on where they get drafted, where their picks are. We don't know. Where they get slotted in the lottery or whatnot. Matter of fact, do they have a first round like this year? Like we got
the Wizards got 2 picks
in the first round. Okay,
yeah, they got. They should.
I know the draft.
You got one that's might be top 5, and the second one's 26, I think, from the Gaffer trade. I think that's 24, 26, something like that.
Okay, so they're gonna have to really see. I put it this way: it depends on who comes back. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say Ty is like, I want to stay, but give me my money. Cool. Then it's not as much. You don't need to look at point guard really. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to, especially with how Jared Butler played, you kind of cool in that area. You know what I'm saying? He's a bigger guard, to kind of more dynamic, kind of change stuff up from Ty as being more of a playmaker, which fits with the starting lineup when you got Poole, Kuz, and then you got all these scorers around. You need somebody that can facilitate. I get that. That's savvy and got chemistry as well. So then the main focus is inside. You need a center. You need a real. I love what Gav brought, Marvin Bagley. Those are undersized bigs. And even with Vucevic, he's listed at, I don't know, I've seen 2 different things, 6'10", 6'11", 7 feet, whatever, but he's slight of build. So again, if they get a high enough pick, depending on, let's say they get the number 1 pick, did you get Sarr? Do you go out to Clinton? Do you get Filipowski? What do you do? Because you're not going to get very far unless you have a presence inside. It's just, you never going. You can be killing. If you don't have a presence inside, you're gonna run into one of these bigs and they're gonna get you up out of there. So it all depends on who stays and who goes, man. But those are the 2 positions for me that I understand that are glaring that they need to get with right away.
All right, Ray, you in the same vein there, or are you looking somewhere else?
No, absolutely, man. If they add another wing to this team, it's going to be a problem for me. they're good there, man. If like Adele said, man, if Tyus goes, then yeah, point guard is going to be an area of need. But for sure, no matter what, they need bigs. So yeah, that's where their focus needs to be.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Again, I'm cool with 2 through 4. They got a lot of stuff, a lot of options. 2 through 4. You need the same thing you want at the 5. Do you feel they need the same thing I feel they need at the 1? You need somebody to dictate the terms of engagement at both ends of the floor in your lineup right now, whether it be the 1 or the 5, whatever's up there, preferably the 5, right? And then you can figure out stuff around the 1, but in case that first pick takes you out the range of 5s, go get someone to dictate the terms of engagement at the 1. I feel like it would totally change so much with supplements and with other things. Because again, like you said, you don't need the scoring, man. You need people to make people go away. Go give Bilal a buddy to go make 2 people go away at a time. Where you like, switch, which party do you want? You know what I'm saying? Or if you can, like you guys said, get the big where it's like, oh wow, you're gonna go by me. That's an added confidence. Somebody like Poole or whatever smaller guard they might have out there is like, I mean, you can go by me. You know what's behind me. Go ahead, Cletus. Have a blast, man. big fella down there waiting for you. I'll be right here for when he punch it, catch it, or keep it, and we go in the opposite way. But either way, I'm with you guys. Like size, bro, and not at the wing. I don't want to see a 2, 3, or 4 in the first round. Like on everything I love, like at all. Like I don't. I want the other skills that people don't talk about. Go get me size, athleticism, and the willingness to box out and protect the rim, or raise enough hell that people can't even get into their offense comfortably. Like that type of disruption. Like those are the only two. I want disruptors. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. I want disruptors. They need them very, very badly. All right. They need them. All right. So I'm gonna slide into this, which is just take a look at some of the free agents that are out here. And going by what you guys been saying, I went ahead and put up this center page for the moment. We're gonna start there. These are some of the centers that are available, Ray. That might be available. You got Jonas Clax. I expect. I'm sure they gave him a contract extension already, so I don't think he should be there. But Cardell, pretty much, I was just, I shared my little 2 cents, and I was agreeing with you guys as a whole. They need size. They need size bad at both ends of that lineup. You need disruptors at the 5, the 1, what have you, the 2 through 4. They have a bevy of players. So with that said, I think we all agree, not looking at the 2 through 4s or whatever in free agency. I got the 5s pulled up, and you guys let me know whatever group you want me to pull up. But at the moment, I got the 5s pulled up. Free agency wise, we got Jonas Valanciunas at the top of the list. Slacks, and I don't think he's supposed to be here. I think the Nets gave him extension already. Could be wrong. You got Isaiah Hartenstein. Shocker, we got a Plumlee, Andre Drummond, DeAndre Jordan's here, but Alex Len, Cody Zeller, JaVale. Then you got Bamba floating around. But what you guys think about a free agency? What are some of the places you're looking at a free agency? Or some of the people you might be looking at free agency? And again, if you want me to leave the center page, please tell me. I will happily do so.
I like the Claxton. I like that possibly. I like what he brings. He fits lob threat, improving. A little mid-range jumper. He's young, 25. Mm-hmm. He's still fairly young. He will help them where their weakest at defense. Similar to Boot, but he's more physically mature. He's still a little light, but not bad. He can still. He understands how to, obviously do his thing in his league. He's one I would look at. Yeah, outside of that, Mo Bamba's more, he has potential, but he about to be 26. Yeah, I would rather just roll Clax.
And just want to interject real quick. I was wrong on the Claxton thing. He is a free agent. Brooklyn did not tie that up yet.
I'm saying who's a free agent?
Nick Claxton is going to be a free agent. They haven't tied him up yet. So I just went to go look it up to make sure that it wasn't like a typo that he was here. He's there.
All right.
So as of right now, Brooklyn has an extension.
Yeah, it will. For me, I will go after Claxton and then look in the draft.
All right. Any other positions, Cardell, you feel like they need to look at in free agency?
Well, we can look at point guard depending on if Tyus leave.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go at point guard.
Markel.
Man, I was about to say, if he could stay healthy, I would not mind that at all.
Yeah, man.
So on my little list,
Monte not coming. He just left. Spencer Dinwiddie definitely not coming ever. The lawn just left. Some of these are just veterans up top. D'Angelo not coming. You have to Sergio pay Kyle Lowry at this stage. Heck no, he's 38. I'm not no. It would have to be Barker Tyus. So Tyus about to get a bag thrown out. He got to.
That's where that's at. All right. So with that being said, it leaves us. Oh, sorry.
Look in the draft.
Go ahead.
Look in the draft. It's a hometown kid playing the ACC from Baltimore that you might be able to get. I think he's going to be fairly available within the lottery, something like that. Mid to late lottery. So depending on where they pick at, that might be one they got. Like Tyus, we gonna resign you, or try to resign, say he stay. Groom the young bull, groom him.
And that's the fun part, right? They got potential options here, which is why it's gonna be interesting what this regime's going to choose to do. Because of those options, depending on what road you choose to go down, that opens the room to move somebody else. So that's why it's going to be interesting. That said, potential draft targets. You guys have, as soon as we started the conversation, danced around a little bit, already talked about it a little bit as well. Look, they got 2 picks in the first round. We're going to assume one's top 10, and the other is within the last 5 picks of the round. You in charge, Cardell. What are you doing? Then Ray, as soon as he's done, what are you doing?
As far as looking at the draft, top 2 positions, like I said, center or point guard. It's really like they have a million wings, man. It's just they have to honestly get rid of some wings because there's so many wings on the roster. They're taking on roster spots and depth from other places. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, players are still declaring, so it's too hard. You know, you got Portsmouth guys who are going to move up and down. You know, they caught up between, like, I ain't going to say a youth movement, but most of the roster is young. But they have some vets entering their prime. So, overall, they're still fairly young, but they got enough vets to kind of keep the shit moving where it's not like a super young team like what you see in Charlotte. These youngest trying to guide youngest, that never goes well. You need some vets. So I feel comfortable. Like I said, Bub Carrington. He's a guy I think will fit because he's dynamic and he's versatile. He could play the 1 and the 2 with his, I think he grew a little bit at Pitt. He learned how to play on and off the ball because when Jalen Lowe emerged at Pitt and then he's smaller, became a point guard. Bub kind of floated between both guard spots, but even though most of the season he played point, so he can fit, he can defend, he can play make. He's tough, nice in the pick and roll. He understands how to get to his spots and he can hit those shots. So that's one guy, and it's not just because he's a hometown guy. That's an added benefit, obviously, but I just like his game. I always liked his game since high school. I already felt like his all-around game, he just needed to mature physically, which he did. And at Pitt, they got a great staff. So they did their thing, and he warrants a strong look. You know what I mean? I think they need to look at him. I don't think Kolick is going to be there from Marquette. I don't think he's going to, like I said, they got one of the worst records in the league, so they're going to be in the mix. It depends on what they pick. But Kolick is another one, someone more seasoned, for sure. Remember him at George Mason, he was nice then, which is why he transferred and blossom at Marquette on the Shaka Smart. So I think he's one. Those are a couple of point guards you definitely could look at. You can look at some of your UConn youngest. I like Collier out at USC, super fast, stocky, strong. He'll bring a real added dimension. Plus, the Wizards like to get up and down. He'll fit right in. You know what I'm saying? Super fast, strong, finish and all that stuff like that. Play make, so defend. Thing is, can he shoot the 3 over the bigger guards once he get up there, get to the league? So, they have some point guards where they can look at and really evaluate, see where they can go. But the bigs they're talented, but it's not one surefire big. That's why I'm like, it's tough. It's tough, man. And there's some international guards I meant to throw out as well. We're going to do that when we kind of get to our draft show. Be more detailed than that. But, yeah, you got to look. Obviously, SAR's getting the buzz from overseas. Obviously, he's France, what Wembanyama has been able to do and stuff like that. Hey, let's go over there and see who's over there. So, obviously, he's going to have the first pick buzz, which he's talented, man. You can't knock it. But I still see flaws in his game. Flanagan, after what he just did. Or do you look at Edie? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, can he handle the pace of the NBA? Like, I'm just throwing names out there. Bigs that have put in work. Like I said, Flanagan, Edie, Filipowski from Duke. Oh, I mean, it's tough, but I need defense, man, because they have enough weapons offensively. So for me, if you're not really strong, that's why I'm looking at Clinton kind of having the edge because he come in already there 7-2-2 and can run the floor, understands how to play and tough, and he still has room to grow because he's only a sophomore. You see what I'm saying? So if they go on the center, I might look at him, but it depends, man. It depends. Like that's why they have these pre-draft workouts. Bring them all in. Let's see. Especially if you got the number 1 pick, all y'all come.
Right.
If you're ducking the smoke, I don't want you. It's simple as that. All right, I know what I'm getting. Because I know you're going to duck the smoke with Giannis and Embiid, and we ain't got time for that. Jokic, we ain't got time for that. So,
thanks. About to leave you on the island and survive. So, yeah, come in this workout with the rest of these dudes and figure out what happens. One of y'all walking out, right?
Yeah, man. Given I do think their most glaring need is at center. With that being said, I'm leaning towards Clinton from UConn, man. 7'2". I think he got like a 7'7" wingspan. Good rim protector. He's a bruiser. He'll get in there, do dirty work. He could finish around the basket. The only negative I could kind of see people trying to exploit at the next level is trying to get him in a lot of switches on perimeter guys and take advantage of that. But I think he's pro ready at this point, man. And we need a big dude that's gonna move some bodies around in the middle because getting out rebounded by 25 and stuff like that. Can't keep rocking like that, man. And like you brought up earlier, Wilson, he will be a deterrent from people trying to get to the basket because he chases things and he's smart. He's not just reckless. Yeah, man. And 7'2" is 7'2". You get in there, that's a big mountain to climb, man. So yeah, from that standpoint, I wouldn't mind seeing them take him. Sarr, of course, he probably has the most upside, but he's more like, one of those versatile bigs with perimeter skills, and he leans a little more towards that as opposed to going down low. He shoots a lot of jumpers. We don't need no more of that around here. We need somebody to wreak havoc in the paint. That having that this season would have cured a lot of their ills. So yeah, man, I roll with Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton is nice in a pick and roll too. Like he's great scoring wise, like understanding when to slip, when to pop out, when to reset, go out, set a backdoor screen, and he can finish, man. You can remember with like a Tyus Jones, he gonna eat right away.
Yeah, I was just going with you guys, and obviously everyone knows, I'm not trying to be a homer here, but I think Donovan he's the most ready to fill the needs Washington has. And it's something he just did for 2 years. Like he literally just played that exact role for 2 years. Like it's not somebody where it was like, man, I was getting 19, 20 touches in college. Now I got to give up that. Bro, they literally just took you for 2 years. Using that crazy offense, setting screens, making reads. Like the adjustment he has to make is the adjustment all college players have to make is you have to get bigger and stronger. Like that's what has to happen. But in terms of that role, like you literally about to continue the role you just played for 2 years, ideally. And protect the basket. We're gonna let you die. Stand there and die at times. And I know everybody with, some people nuts about the night Edie had or whatever, but the fact that they was able to execute the game plan, the country would have loved to be able to execute it. You needed somebody who could stand there and be 7'2". And take that.
Yeah, but people don't understand. Purdue has some world-class shooters. I think as a team, they shot 40% this season.
Yeah.
So that stresses a lot. Okay, so that's not guys digging down and making Edie have to rush and force him into quick shots and stuff like that. And here's the other side. See, people always look at it from one end, the point end. What if they didn't have Flanagan? What would have happened? What would have Edie done?
Purdue would have been national champions. They would have shot 42% from deep, like they had been doing most of the season, because everyone would have jumped the paint, and then the shooters would have had fun. And there's a reason their record was what it was like, as you just laid out, Cardell.
Or Edie would have had 50. He'd have been looking like Wilt out there. How about that? I mean, we like, come on now. Like, what the boy had, 38? I mean, no,
Yeah.
man, he wasn't 37. He wasn't far from it with Flanagan there.
Mm-mm.
So he had 25 shots. Give him 35 shots. These little midgets out here, destroy them. You're going to keep it simple. Get 50.
Some easily.
50 and 15.
Yeah. Like you guys said, man, I just think that fills the quickest need. They don't need shooting. And the bonus is whatever he gives you on offense, it's like we've seen that he can score, that's a bonus. But I'm just primarily focused on defense, man.
And that's all it is. Look, I'm not by far saying he's the most talented big. Filipowski's more gifted, naturally talented. Mm-hmm. Sorry is too when you watch him when he puts it all together, man. But are they ready to come in and give the team what they need, not necessarily what they want to bring in right away? Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, even Victor Wembanyama, as cold as he is, he got started with the defense first, because it took him a while to find out. Remember, they was like, man, they don't know how to use him, criticizing Pop early in the season. They don't know how to use him. These guys don't pass on the ball and all that. It took a while to get used to what everything he brings, and that's what I was like, y'all got to give us time. Y'all understand it's good players and teams trying to stop the stuff we're trying to do as is. And we're still trying to figure out what he could do at this level. But one thing that came in right away, defense. Like, I will never forget the shot. Wiggins, super athletic, 6'8", shooting a 3, and he ain't just blocking in his hand. He caught it at the peak arc of the shot. Like, that's sick, bro. Like, that gets you thinking. You see him rotate out. You instead of follow through full motion, you just flicking that Joe, dog, because he coming. And he can, and you pump fake and stuff, get the dancing on him. He's agile enough to recover. Or who he blocked? Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams crossed the hell out of him. Had that man backpedaling, and he's still recovering and glad and palmed this. Like, come on, bro. So that I'm not saying he's Wembanyama and all that stuff like that, but he's not far off. He's 7'2", and I'm like, defensively wise, he's not far off as far as how agile he is and how he patrols the paint and how he blocks shots. The Wizards haven't. What Wizards haven't had that, man. What Gafford would block shots, but he's undersized, so they wasn't intimidated with challenging. I'm like, who was the last center with the Wizards where it was like, man, we ain't even going in there? I mean, think about it. So it's been a minute, man. So yeah. The good thing about this draft, the one they calling the worst of all time, I mean, if you know what you're looking at, man, it's some quality there, man. And I think this is one of them drafts where, like I said, you can come up if you draft the right pieces for your team, not necessarily what looks good to fans.
And I think we close with that's the perfect thing. I see a lot of Wizards fans like, oh my God, it got to be Sarr, it got to be Dillingham, it got to be. Bro, look at what your team just was. Look at where the problem areas were. But that's the difference between good teams and bad teams, is the good team's going to go get what they need, what fits them. If the need and fit line up, good money. Like Cardell said, we are not saying Kling is some can't miss prospect or what have you. But as it pertains to the Washington Wizards, bruh.
My bad, Kling. I'm saying Clingan, I mean, but yeah, Klingan, yeah, exactly. So, look, man,
it lines up perfectly in terms of this. Their deficiencies are the stuff the kids done for 2 years in their sleep.
So we gonna see, man.
So we'll see what ends up happening. For sure, like Cardell said, we'll have another show focused purely on the draft. Get into everything. Can't wait to see what him and Ray have for you guys. We appreciate you guys spending extra time this week. It's nice to put a bow on this 2023-2024 Washington Wizards regular season. So y'all have a great one.